Hi everyone, thank you all for joining me. We're taking a look at the shale artifacts here at the secondary location in Smithfield. We looked at a few of these last time and wanted to come back when it dried up a little bit to take a look at a few more. So we'll go ahead and zoom in on a few of these. Once we start to look at them, you can see perhaps the human silhouettes or the bird silhouettes or the human/bird silhouettes, which is the case in this, where it's a human mixed in with a bird, you can see. So we have different human silhouettes using the dark eye here, and then you can see how this bird wing is put kind of over the hat or over the head. It's like a mask hat situation. And this little bird man fella will come out, and on the other side we'll be able to see some of the colorations and different silhouettes that are gonna pop out of this one. It's very beautiful. Just kind of looking at it like this, you can see how it resembles a bird head. And underneath here, some of these are a little wet, so I'm gonna just kind of briefly show you a few of them real quick so that you can see the little characters in here with their wild mouths. Hopefully you can see at least the silhouette there. Let's turn it around. And it's not a whole lot of sun today. We can see the left side silhouette here carved in. There's a few of them on here. So this is a really beautiful piece. I'm not gonna dig into that one. I'm just gonna kind of get the outside ones here that are dry. Someone put a comment in, it's like, why are you out there destroying these? I'm sorry. I don't mean to upset you. These are getting destroyed. That's why I'm doing all this. So let's go ahead and can take our time a little bit. I mean, they took their time for this, but you can see these characters. This is their nose and their eye, and they have like a hat or a bird headdress on. And just in this little top section, you can see how there is just a little figurine of a little human with their orange hair that comes striping down there. And different pieces of this will come off and reveal different parts of the statue. So here we can see how now that turns into an inside silhouette there with its eye. Sorry for the focus there. Try to show you guys. It's very detailed art. It's very beautiful. We can see the left side silhouette, the eye poking out. Looking at the bands as like, you know, headdress, you can see the eye there with the lips at my finger here. Might be seeing different eyes. And that orange spot in the middle. It's interesting to know that all this color is intentional. And that's just the first sheet. So within these wavy lines, you'll be able to see the little paintings of humans. You can probably see on this interior here with the eye, the mouth, the nose. Isn't that neat? Then using that to look on the outside here, on the left, you can see how the eye is right there, just the smaller silhouette, a little marking for the mouth, and how the high cheekbone is done. It looks like we are going to get a little bit of wind, but there's some more sheets on this. We can, all these little individual ones, I don't want to just throw them on the ground because each one is their own effigy. Just these little silhouettes here with their little diamond-shaped eyes, you can see, with their weird little bird hats on. That's ancient America for you guys. You can see how the bird hat, or, you know, that's the big bird beak. And they always have that little crack in the beak, between the head and the beak, when they, it's kind of like their signature. And we can look at the other side here and see this other silhouette pointing to the left. A few of them. We can start off real small, get larger. You'll see different eyes. And then whenever you look at it next time, you'll see another set of eyes. But I love how the crisscross hashing. You can of course see the character with the long nose, perhaps. And the way they napped these, the way they put their sharp edges on them, very beautiful as well. They even made little recreations of spear points in here. You know, they wouldn't actually make one. They didn't want it plundered for its weapons, so they never put a weapon in these. That's why you don't find arrowheads and stuff with this. This was a ceremonial. So since we've been learning so much by looking at the other art there within the same stone, we'll be able to see the other portraits come out. You can see this one pointing to the left with the face just crumbling away so that we can see it. The mouth here, the nose. And isn't this so cool? There's other faces popping out here. You see on the top, that one. Wow. Another one here. And it gets down lower. Just on the little edge here, you can see, with the little mouth and the little spot for the eye with the stripes. Going really fast, but another human character with a bird on top of its head. If you guys can see inside of the clay pack, see how the little sand, it's like a little sand drawing. You see the circle right there? And that big thing on top of his head is a big bird hat. It's ancient America. Hopefully you guys can see him pretty well. And we can flip this thing all over different directions and create the different characters. But there's still so much to see on these. This, believe it or not, this little piece of wood, this burnt piece of wood, is an artifact as well. They're little birds. That's what they're shaped like. You can see how the head is done here. This looks like a little goose or something sticking up, right? We didn't know any better, right? Could be a real goose. Well, that's what this is supposed to represent. Believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe. But so is this stuff. So thanks for watching. We're gonna take a quick break. Well, here's a pretty neat one here. It's kind of like a silhouette in the white. You have to perhaps use your imagination a little bit, but maybe you can just see the eyes. Let's take a look at this. I don't expect you to see it right off the bat. Took me a second. There's a few on the other side as well, though. You can see the two eyes coming out on this right side portrait. I can zoom in just a hair. There we go. Interesting. Let's take a look at this one together. And we'll see. I believe we can see some painting, some white paint. I'm not sure though. You guys might be able to see it better than I can at this moment. But I'm sure that's going to be able to represent a bird with that beautiful color. What is that? Is that a spider? Or is it just a seed? Looks like a seed. Pretty neat one. A little harder to see for sure. Oh, in the white, do you see the painting? So the eye, the nose, the mouth, the neck, the shoulders of the person in white. Just looking at the white section, and you can see how this black line kind of goes through their eye. That's just to show you the size of the paintings and kind of the style. You may be able to see a left side silhouette as well. Then in this, you can see how it is actually a bird as well. So you see the beak of the bird, the 1-2 eyes. The beak right there, little hook bill, tiny little beak, all that brown section with that line that curves down, that's the top of the bird's beak. And inside of this other section, there'll be more. Looks like we can turn it this way. All those little dots are going to represent the eyes. Pretty nice one. It's a very large core, so makes sense that the outside would be decorated a lot. Here we have just our left side silhouette with our eye there perhaps, and then even smaller, just going into these little sections here. We have the other ones. They just turn into more and more faces. You guys can see that okay. There you go. You guys can see in the white silhouette here pointing to the left. Pretty neat. Pretty cool stuff. I think it's really neat. I think it's a great, fantastic find for the city of Smithfield and for North Carolina. But they don't want to accept any type of artifact that doesn't already fit their narrative. So I won't say narrative, but they're what they call providence. So we'll talk about that in the next video, I think. These are all little birds here. We can see facing to the left-hand side, you can see the way their heads are both with the white spots and the little beaks coming out. I'll show you this one. Very pretty. Looks like a killer spear point too. Interesting. Oh, there's a little silhouette on the bottom there. There's going to be a few on this. It's kind of tough for me to see, but just like you guys, I watch these a few times. And I watch my own stuff just to learn it more. Because I oftentimes see things the second time around that I did not see the first. There's even a hole through this one. The hole's a square. Oh, look at the white paint over the eyebrow of the character here. And if you look at the headdress, you can see the circles, little symbols. It's hard to believe it. It makes some people fully mad. I've been getting a lot of nasty comments lately, let me tell you. It makes some people super upset. Yeah, that's a big braided headband across this Phoenician or Assyrian or whatever ancient style human. You can even take off some of this and probably create his face the right way. It's wild, isn't it? If you're not seeing the eye, it's got that blue paint on there, that silver paint, and I don't know if you can even see that stuff, but like for all I know, that big blue paint is completely invisible to you. I'm sure you can see it, but just as an example, that's how much more you can end up seeing after you learn this art. Super pretty stuff. Seeing them. All right, that's wet, so I can't really do too much with it. But there's a whole lot more to check out here. It's these little cookies, these little clay cookies. And this is kind of, you can see the way that they sliced them. So there's several small ones. You'd have your other larger size ones. All these are little human characters. You can see the little tiny flakes over their eyes. Once you take that little flake off, the details for the eye come into play for the little character here. It's just a little guy, little woman with long hair. Looks like she might have long nose. But then on the other side as well, you can see. And this is a good one to show because they were really good about showing their art. So let's take a look at a few of these together here. Here's another thick one. Still has a lot on the other side, so. But I can show you this here. So just on this top piece, you can see how that little rock just fell off. I'm going to separate the face. You can see how the two eyes are done with the nose and the mouth. Watch. Separate that face away. Pull that human back. Oh, he's meant to fall apart, but he turns into this character. There's so much on this. They made it really beautiful. This is a bird facing to the right, I believe. Oh, it's so many things. It's hard to say exactly what it is. You can see the wing though here. That's what I'm looking at. But I can also see the left hand character. Oh, what the heck? Here we are, sorry. Wrong side. I put seeds inside of it. Sorry, I'm trying to show you this really small one. It might be impossible to see. Really neat stuff. You can get lost in it. There's another whole book, you know. And then these ones kind of get an orientation of the way that the hair is going to be just by looking at it. You see how this black hair is done? That's probably the eye, the nose, and the mouth. And so you can see how this little hat is done. It's going to be, there's a beautiful eye here done for the left side statue. You see that beautiful white eye, the way it's scraped in there. And all these are their own individuals, so we'll take these ones off. Show this character. Beautiful. Some more. All those little clay markings and swirls and things, that's all intentional. As crazy as that sounds, those are all images. And they could read this stuff. It's wild. Very wild. Anyway, take a look at maybe one more here before we go. Let's go ahead and do this bird head. Beautiful right side bird head. We can see how the bird's eye and the beak is represented there, pointing up like this. Let's take a look at different characters that we might be able to spot. It does have a pretty large core, but so we can see maybe a different type of bird head here. This one just has a huge core, it looks like. There's a little bit to take off, but it's a certain type. This one's super heavy. I don't know why. The whole thing's cooked, I think. Oh, it's very painted, yeah. Oh, look at that beautiful left side silhouette. It still has the, you can see how the red gemstone is put into its eye. Well, that's super pretty, come on. Oh, it's gone now. But it's a really nice statue. I might take this one. I just love the painted faces. Super pretty. Well, that's cool. Put it here so I don't forget it. Oh, that's super neat. Look at that. So that's supposed to be the eye. This is the hat, the nose, and the nose and the mouth, rather. It's like this kind of big hat character. And he repeats over and over. And when you see him from far away, might come out a little better, or you might see him in a different way. He's a meme. And then, of course, they'll make a left side silhouette, too. With maybe this as being the sideburn or the feather now. And really pretty. Super nice. It's a cool one. Some of these, you find the wooden ones, they actually look like dead birds. You can see the ring, the red ring there. Really pretty effigy. Look at all the pages in this one. And so they took these apart. Something symbolic with this black line. I don't know if it's a lightning strike or what. Something very symbolic about that, though. So, but they took these apart in their little sheets and then they put them back together after they painted them. And they put these little clay packs over top of their eyes. Look at these edges. See how they're like show-offs? Like, where are the tool marks? Well, I'm sorry. This is like one of the most deadliest edges you could ever imagine if it wasn't on clay. They're show-offs. They were real big show-offs. See these edges? Nap the whole way down. Every single one of them is. It's something else. Talk to your local archaeologist to learn more. The big tall headdress guy. I'd look at that white spot as where his eye was. Because inside of that, the reason that white spot is there is probably because there's a little gemstone in there. Weird, right? That's pretty odd. I don't see any more. Whew. It's a lot of fun. It's a little bit tiring, but it is super fun. So appreciate you guys hanging out while we do this. Looked at this one last time. It's got this beautiful black paint representing a bird here with its beak to the left-hand side. You guys can see the way the black head is done. And again, you know, that super edge. Oh, geez, sorry. Oh. Dropping the phone, so I must be getting tired. It's really neat how they could just use their fingers and carve this stuff. So maybe I could take a big chunk of it and carve out my own. I'll give you guys like a super exaggerated example of this stuff. Maybe it'll help. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. All right, folks. Until next time. Bye-bye.